Oh, hey. Oh, AD? You want to tour my $5 million house? I wasn't prepared for this, but sure. Yeah, let's do it. You know, usually on the Raw Built channel, we explore tiny spaces, unique spaces, and everything in between. So I'm really excited because today we're actually doing the exact opposite. We are right in the heart of Studio City, right off of Valley Vista Drive, and I'm excited to take a tour of this place and show you exactly what $5 million buys you in LA. But if you stick around until the very end of the video, I'm gonna break down the financials of this place and show you how much you'd need to make to be able to afford a $5 million house. Oh, okay, you can hear that? Airplanes, gotta love them. They take you places, but you know, they're loud during YouTube videos. Easily the worst Pixar movie in the entire lineup, after Cars 3. First thing that I noticed as I walk in is a very exquisite, very fine and bougie black marble fountain. Any idea, you know, how much this something like this would cost?
Probably looking.
He doesn't know, and that's fine, but I'd gather that it's probably, you know, like a $10,000 or $15,000 fixture. And the outside, very nice. This is actually my favorite stucco that you see in California. We call this Santa Barbara. It basically means that it's completely smooth, and I actually see a little mahogany here. Housekeeping? Yep, that's mahogany. I've actually used mahogany on my tiny house builds, on Casa Conejo, on Mariposa. They've got a paneled garage over here, walking up to it. This is absolutely the nicest house on the block. So what I want to do now is talk to Nick Ceremi. He's actually the listing agent on this property, and just see how this stacks up to typical homes in the Los Angeles area that usually comes in at the $5 million price mark. Price point? Price mark. Caleb, keep me honest. For price point. Price point? All right, so we're in front of this $5 million house. How long has it been on the market, and are $5 million houses moving quickly in this current economy?
Typically in the luxury end, things take a little bit longer to move. Right now we're seeing in the luxury end, it just takes a little bit more time for the buyer to come around, but they do come around.
$5 million bucks, lots of money. Are there any standout features that are an absolute requirement for a house of this price?
At this price point, expectancy of buyers is to have a pool as part of the property. A larger lot is definitely a must. Smart buyers that are coming in to spend this type of dollar, they're gonna pay attention to the finishes. So they're gonna see the details. They're gonna see whether it's quartz or a Calcutta marble, you know? They're gonna see-
Or terrazzo.
Terrazzo.
Fine finishes, like black marble fountain.
Black marble fountain that looks like a tree trunk.
Which was actually your nickname back in high school too, right?
Black marble?
No, tree trunk. Awesome, well I want to take a look inside. One of the things that I really noticed that really popped for me was this giant door. Ah! Gosh, these pointy bastards, man, they always get me. I mean, what? Ow, shit. Usually the standard for something like this is 36 inches. Right off the top of my head, I think it was probably like, what, a 4-foot wide door. But let's go inside and take a look, and I think you're gonna like what you see. So this place is actually pretty crazy. First thing you see when you walk in is what I believe is a bedroom that's been staged to be an office. And you know what's really excellent about this place specifically, really nice feature, is that it's staged pretty immaculately. Typically, when you stage a property, you know, they're only gonna spend like $1,000 to $2,000 and you're gonna get the bare minimum to get it photographed and looking pretty good, but everything from the art to the actual chairs. I mean, I would buy this furniture. If I was buying this house, I'd have no problem just asking the staging company to invoice me for the furniture. And then right over here, we have a small little bathroom too. Come check this out. This is really nice. And I just even want to show you that for the first bathroom, the details on this particular house is pretty freaking crazy. Like vertical subway-ish tile. It's not exactly subway tile, but it looks really nice. And one of the main themes and woods that you see in the house is like a very natural bleached oak. Big fan of this, and I think this has been the trend for 4 to 5 years. Usually trends like bleached oak or like gray laminate floors back in the day tend to die down. I don't think that the bleached oak trend is dying down quite yet, but I do think we're starting to see darker walnuts make appearances back in homes like this. But for this particular house, the bleached oak works super well. Walk into here, we have a foyer that is foyer. We've got a fancy boucle couch over here. We've got sort of the modern abstract CB2 furniture, except this is obviously way more expensive than CB2. It at least helps unlock the potential of what the design of a property like this could be. And so many nice touches. We've got a built-in bookshelf right here, more built-ins over here. The dining room's over here. It's a very open layout as you walk in, but really, from a goals standpoint, let me show you this bathroom. I think it's technically a powder room, but oh my God, it's so nice. Check it out. I've always dreamed of having this kind of marble in a bathroom. It looks really, really, really expensive. Really, really nice vanity. I think it's a cane vanity. I can't really remember what this style is called, but that's how nice it is. It's so nice that I've never even bothered to learn the name because I knew that I would never be able to afford it. But just wait till you check out the kitchen, because if you thought this marble was nice, just wait till you see the actual marble that they've chosen for the actual kitchen. Leads into a very nice, open, airy layout. Every time I say open and airy layout, I think of that Louis C.K. bit of him touring that New York apartment. Cut to that clip whenever she's like, it's a nice open area, and then he's like, none of that is true. Well, you know what? It actually is true in this instance because it is a huge place. And the thing with 4,000 square feet homes that I don't typically like is that they're just giant and they're incredibly difficult to furnish because they're just huge open spaces. Whereas this place definitely has an open layout, but they've got sort of all of these different nooks and crannies that make it so much easier to furnish. I'll show you. We got an open living room right here. We got the built-in shelves over here, but then we have a little nook right here. And then as you go this way, we have another nook. It's very easy to think of how you can furnish a space right here. I would never be able to figure out in a million years how to have two tables within 7 feet of each other, but we've got a small little kind of breakfast table right here, and then the actual dining room table is right here. So this house has really used its space creatively. It's got, again, more built-ins like this that sort of create division and really just builds to the overall feng shui of the house. But yeah, I mean, this kitchen, crazy. This is a chef's kitchen, and you know that this is a luxury place when the fruit that's on display is real. Can I take a bite out of this? Uh-oh. Ah! Just $5 million house, you think the water would work. Is this real? Hold on, maybe this isn't real fruit.
I hope you bite into it, it's not real.
You know this is a luxury house when the fruit on display is real. It's wax. No, I'm just kidding. No joke, it's really good. It's a really good apple. If I was looking for a $5 million house, sold. A+, really good.
So we've landed on the 12 most perfect apples that are highly likely to sell the home.
Now it's 11.
And now it's 11, baby.
Now it's 11. All jokes aside, this is very bougie. It's a bleached oak cabinets, that's very obvious. Calcutta marble.
Calcutta marble. So this is Allison Berger's line of hand-blown glass fixtures. So light fixtures that are completely handmade. Each
nice.
One, there's no mimicking here. So
oh, that's thick.
yeah, it is thick.
Yeah, that's like straight. That's heavy.
Yeah, and so, you know, with thickness and, you know, handmade comes a hefty price.
Yep. Okay.
But every guest that comes in, you know, they mention the piece it's a statement piece. So well worth it in my opinion. You won't see it at every house.
You know, I am not a fan of glassy blown things. That's a very official name, but
For sure.
these are actually very nice, and I could tell. I mean, these look like they're
the real deal.
they look like they belong in a $5 million house.
You're standing in a, you know, a $300,000 kitchen, easy.
Yeah, easy. I mean, we got Wolf appliances. Other little detail here is the vent hood. You know, usually it's a stainless steel vent hood, which is a nice look in and of itself, but then it's actually wrapped in the same Calcutta marble, and that's how you know that a lot of money has been spent in this kitchen. It's crazy, but I can totally see how one could spend $300K on a remodel for this, but that makes sense for a $5 million house. For me, if I'm remodeling my personal kitchen, $50K, right? Or on your typical flip, you could spend $25,000 to $75,000, but never $300K. All right, so here's a detail that I just saw. I was like, oh, it's a big opening. Obviously a door is supposed to go here. Look at this. This right here, typically just for a sliding door, like could be 20, 30K.
This sliding wall would, you know, be no less than $40,000.
Yeah. Sliding accordion glass doors, not cheap. They are very, very, very expensive because they're always custom based on how wide you want them in their house. But again, not really all that surprising because every aspect of this house is custom.
Also note these are thermally broken, so it just helps with the insulation as well. And
I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds expensive. Let's go outside. Okay, so the backyard is really nice. We won't spend too much time unless you want to watch me sweat for the next 5 minutes in the video. And also it's really loud because of this fountain out here. But this is a really nice pool. It seems like it's small and on the more minimal side, but I am going to tell you this. I am building a similar pool in Houston, Texas, and that pool is not as nice as this, and it's $90,000. So extrapolate that for the LA Studio City area. This is a 6-figure pool, and you can kind of tell because the tile backsplash over there, it's got a really nice waterfall feature, and it's got a built-in hot tub. There's one other amenity that I want to highlight in the backyard. backyard. I mean, it's nice. It's a really, really nice backyard, but it's really loud out there. So let's take a look at the outdoor grill. Okay, look at this. This is incredible. I have never seen an outdoor area like this. It's got the stucco pillar. It's also got the beams at the top, which have all been integrated into the stucco, and they've been painted. It's really, really nice. And one other thing to note here that most people don't know, outdoor grills are really expensive. This one is brand new too. This is a multi-$1,000 grill easily, and I know this because I actually recently bought one for my Scottsdale property, and it was $1,500, and it wasn't top of the line like this. You go to Home Depot, Lowe's, you'll find grills just like regular grills for like $250 to like $500. They get way more expensive when they're actually built in like this. So again, and I'm gonna say this over and over again, makes sense for this house. I mean, I've never seen so many nice things. It's like, you know, this is goals. This is goals for me. It's like, I wanna live in a $5 million house now. Maybe if this video goes viral and the ad revenue makes me $5 million, I'll buy this house, all right? But in order for that to happen, you do have to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment about what your favorite amenity is that you've seen so far. And holy moly, this place is so nice. First of all, I like the minimal accent wall. They didn't do anything crazy here because they just let all the furniture do all the talking for this space. Again, we see the abstract modern furniture, really nice light fixtures here, but where this place really stands out as a master bedroom is actually over here. So check this out. I've seen fireplaces in the primary bedrooms of luxury places, but this is a fireplace, again, with more marble. Absolutely nuts, more built-ins, and really I'm impressed with the staging company for a variety of reasons, but specifically because all the art is really good. Usually it's like really cheap mosaic, like Jackson Pollock type of knockoffs that you can get from Target, but this is like all really high quality art. I'm curious, after looking at all this is really nice furniture. How much does it typically cost to stage just like your typical home in LA?
Great question. So staging ranges, right? So you could go from something from $2 a square foot to $6.
Wow.
Absolutely. So 1,000 square foot home, which is on the smaller end. If you're going with premium staging, you're at $6,000 just for the staging.
Dang. Oh yeah, so there are ghosts in this house. That's the one thing.
Damn it, Casper.
They're rich. They were rich before they died, so that's.
They were, so they won't haunt you.
Luxury,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just have to pour an extra glass of wine for them. You think so?
Whew, $6,000 though. That's pricey.
Oh yeah,
but I believe it.
And when you say $6,000, right? That's on a 1,000 square foot home. So we're talking 4,000 square feet here.
Right.
So
right.
you gotta quadruple that.
Remind me never to list a luxury home. I'd be like, ugh. Run along now. Really nice, spacious primary suite. Let's take a look at the bathroom really fast because, man, goals. Everything about this house is goals. Check it out. Is this like nuts or what? First of all, the toilet is in its own little nook here with the frosted glass door. It's double vanities, really nice. They're quartzite, more bleached wood, and this is like really, I mean, this is 100% wood, which is crazy. Usually it's like some kind of cheap veneer on MDF, and that's what you see on a lot of low cost flips. But this is the real deal, and they carry the quartzite into the bath over here. Again, really nice. And what's really dreamy about this bath specifically is it's not much of a view, right? It's not like you're looking at mountains or anything, but you're looking at nice foliage and greenery. You can be taking a bath and kind of looking out at Mother Nature. And then if you don't want to take a bath, you've got this giant shower in here, which is also just crazy. It's almost like a sauna. It feels like it's a sauna. The quartzite continues here. They've got these little quartzite nooks in here. It's very echoey, so I'm gonna talk quieter. One of the really nice higher end features are this kind of drain right here. This typically costs a lot more money with the tile guy because it's more work, but it just looks so much nicer than your typical ugly chrome plate that you typically find in most showers. And this closet is the size of my first home that I ever bought in Los Angeles, California. This is nuts. Again, the woodwork on this place, crazy. The amount of bodies that you can hide in the closet, nuts. I'd have a field day in here. Really nice drawers. I'm just dreaming of this place because if I owned this place, this is definitely where I would keep my watch collection. It's so nice and easily the nicest closet that I've ever seen in my life. Let's take a look at the other bedrooms, but as I walk out of this house, it's got a Sub-Zero fridge. These things, no joke, are like $4 grand. I know because I just put one in the house that I'm building in Houston, and then I had my builder take it out because I couldn't justify spending $4 grand on a fridge. But the owners of this house are like, yeah, $4 grand. Put it on my tab.
Put it on my tab.
What was that?
Put it on my tab.
What's really nice about this guest bedroom is that typically guest bedrooms are really small and stuffy. This is a queen bed right here, but a king bed could pretty easily fit in here. So one detail that I like about this place, go back, is that every single door is solid core, which means that it's not thin. It's a real piece of wood. And not only that, but it's that bleached oak. That's a very expensive door, like very premium. It honestly just inspires me to become rich enough to buy a house like this, because I think we might be touring my dream home over here. The final bedroom here, something that I really want to note is they've got this super nice loft up here. Check this out, much better. This, see, show the ladder that they did in that New York apartment tour that I did where it was like spiral. I definitely would have preferred like a ladder because these are just so dangerous to get up and down on. Ow. See, that hurt. Why didn't they just do this? This is so much nicer. And there's an actual loft up here. There's a lofted space. This could obviously be like a kid's fort, right? Not a young kid that can fall off of this, but like a teenager. This would be the perfect man cave or she shed for a teen whose room this might be. But the little hangout quarters can be up here. It's really nice. And they even have the built-in desk over there for studying. And one final touch for the staging that I'm a big fan of, just a good old guitar signed by somebody. I'm rich and I am buying a $5 million home. All right, so I just entered this in. By the way, we'll leave the link in the description down below if you are a buyer of a $5 million house. This one checks a lot of boxes for me. But if you were gonna buy this house is $4.859 million.
4.895.
Oh, okay. Don't ever correct me on camera again. And scene. This house is $4.895 million. And if you were to buy this, just based on what Zillow's pulling up at a 6.4% interest rate, at a 20% down payment, which is gonna be just shy of $1 million bucks, your mortgage on this would be about 31,000 bucks a month. Now, if you're just using typical standard formulas of what you can afford, your mortgage payment is supposed to be roughly 25% of what you make every single year. So if your mortgage is 31,000 bucks, then you have to be making $125,000 a month to be able to afford a place like this. And even then, that's about $1.4 million a year. I will say I make more than that, and I would never spend that much, even with what I make on this house.
Sure, I mean you're also a real estate investor.
That's true.
The numbers have to make sense.
The numbers do have to make sense. So, but if this was my thing, if I made $2 million bucks a year and I wasn't like trying to propel like my investment strategy, and all I did was like, if my dream was to have a nice house, sure, $2 million bucks, you could probably afford this. But tell me, who can afford, like how much should you make to buy a house like this, like $5 million bucks?
I mean, you're not far off. So at the 5 million mark, typically lenders are gonna want the borrower to make anywhere between 1.3 to 1.6 million dollars a year.
Yep. No debt, that would be, well, no, your debt-to-income ratio would be 45%.
Right around 43, 45%.
Okay, yeah.
And that is putting 20% down. And depending, again, your debt to income, where that falls, you might have a higher interest rate. There's variables,
sure.
but on average, that's kind of where you're looking at.
Man, that's a lot. That's a lot. I can't believe it.
It sounds like a lot, but when people are rolling in, with tech money, startup money, entertainment, royalties, they're not worried about what a $5 million purchase price looks like.
So the person that can afford this house should be making about $2 million bucks?
Should be making anywhere between 1.3 to 1.6. That's kind of where they need to be making. That's not where they should be making.
Okay, what do you think they should be making?
That's up in the air for whoever is the buyer, right? Because some people will live above their means and others are gonna really live conservatively. So it just depends.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you, bro, like $30,000 a month, that drains the account fast. I mean, even if you're making $300K a month, $30,000 is a lot.
It's not just 30,000, because then you got, all the fees to maintain this thing.
You could pretty easily be in this thing like $37K a month after maintenance and landscaping and pool heating costs. And I could see how it adds up. But I mean, you could technically afford it. I'm building a house right now that's about 1.7 million bucks.
Sure.
And that's gonna be about a $10 or $11 or $12,000 mortgage. And that still hurts, and I can certainly afford it. But when I'm looking at like money going in and money going out, paying employees, all that kind of stuff, like I feel that, you know what I mean? So
everyone needs to take a page out of Rob's book, because this is the way to grow wealth. And
I guess being cheap, right?
And allowing him to, you know, come in at that price point opens the door for many other investment, you know, opportunities.
That's true.
In your portfolio.
That's how I see it, because you can buy a place for $10,000 a month, right? And then use the other $20,000. I mean, it's $240,000. Yeah. That you could, that if you invested that and got a 20% return, you could make $48,000 a year with that same investment. So that is kind of how I evaluate these things, where I'm like, yeah, to get into that $5 to $10 million house range, I kind of think you should be making like $5 to $10 million bucks a year personally. Which is like crazy, but it is true. Yeah, but I get it. Like I said, I think if your thing is to buy a house and you want to buy a dream house and you live a 9-to-5 job, or you're in tech,
Absolutely.
And your hobby is hosting people, I get it.
Yep.
Makes a lot of sense.
You want to be near the studios. A lot of these people, they're willing to pay to have a house that puts them in a triangle of living, working, and playing.
All right, well, thank you so much for letting me tour your $5 million listing. I hope you sell it. If you want to buy a $5 million house, this one checks all the boxes, like I've said time and time again. Can I leave your information down in the description if people want to use you as a realtor?
Absolutely, okay. Please do. Happy to help your tribe become my tribe, become residents in this beautiful city of Los Angeles.
Okay, what's your YouTube channel called?
Nick Ceremi.
Go subscribe to Nick Ceremi, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Raw Built.
The next
Yes?
episode. Until then, brother.
Okay, thank you very much.